If your garden is being invaded by ants, slugs, fungal diseases, or your tomato plants are producing flowers but not setting fruit, do not rush to drive to the store to buy another bottle of pesticide or a new fertilizer. There is a natural mineral that can be found in the garage or laundry room of almost every American household, a box of borax. It does not come in flashy packaging, and it is not heavily advertised like many modern gardening products, but in many rural communities across Pennsylvania, Ohio, Missouri, and Indiana, borax has long been a familiar household item for solving a variety of problems, both indoors and in the garden. Today, the gardening market in the United States offers hundreds of insecticides, fungicides, and specialty fertilizers. A single bottle of insecticide can cost anywhere from $20 to more than $50, not to mention the additional products you may need to buy for different types of pests, often without getting effective results. Even so, many experienced gardeners still believe that some simple, low-cost solutions can be highly effective when they are used correctly. Borax, also known as sodium tetraborate, is a naturally occurring mineral that is mined primarily in California. Besides its well-known use for laundry and household cleaning, borax is also used by many people to help control certain insects, supply the micronutrient boron to boron-deficient soils, and address several common problems in the garden. Some of its applications have also been recognized by universities and agricultural research agencies in the United States when it is used for the right purpose and at the proper rate. In this video, I will share 11 ways to use borax that have been trusted by many gardeners across the United States. Based not only on my family's 20 years of hands-on experience, but also on scientific evidence, these methods will help you understand when to use borax, how to use it safely, and how to save money while still achieving excellent results. One, how to eliminate an entire ant colony instead of killing ants one by one. If there is one insect that gives many homeowners in the United States the biggest headache whenever the weather starts to warm up, it is definitely ants. All it takes is a few crumbs or a little bit of something sweet left on the kitchen counter, and before long you will see a long line of ants marching from the yard into your home. Many people choose to spray them as soon as they see them. The problem is that this only kills the ants crawling in front of you, while the rest of the colony, with thousands more ants, remains underground or behind the walls. That is why many experienced gardeners choose borax. Borax does not kill ants immediately. This characteristic is exactly what makes it an effective bait. Worker ants are attracted to the sweet taste and carry the mixture back to the colony to share with the other ants, including the queen. Once the food source has spread throughout the colony, the ant population will gradually decline within just a few days. Use 1 teaspoon of borax, 1 cup of warm water, about 240 milliliters, and about 100 grams of sugar. Pour the warm water into a container first, add the sugar and stir until it is completely dissolved. Then add the borax and continue stirring until the solution becomes clear. You can use measuring teaspoons and measuring cups to make sure the proportions are correct. After mixing the solution, soak a few cotton balls in it, or pour a small amount into a shallow plastic bottle cap. The best time to place the bait is in the late afternoon or early evening, when ants become more active in searching for food. Place it directly along the ant trail or near the area where you see the most ants, and leave it there for several days, so the ants have time to carry the mixture back to the colony. The important thing is not to spray insecticide on the ant trail and not to kill the first ants you see. let them carry the mixture back to the colony. In many cases, the number of ants will noticeably decrease after about 2 to 4 days. 2. Reducing damage from slugs and snails in the vegetable garden. If you live in humid states, such as Oregon, Washington, or many parts of the northeastern United States, slugs and snails are almost a nightmare every spring and early summer. After just one night, they can leave holes in the leaves and long slime trails on lettuce, strawberries, or hostas. My father used to sprinkle borax around the base of plants as a way to block the path of slugs and snails. Because their bodies are soft and lose moisture easily, they usually avoid crawling across this dry powder and move in another direction instead. This method should only be used in small areas. Do not sprinkle borax over an entire vegetable bed because borax contains boron. If too much is used, boron can build up in the soil beyond what plants can tolerate, causing root burn, interfering with the absorption of water and nutrients, and slowing plant growth, or even killing the plants. 3. Killing weeds in sidewalk cracks. There is one problem that almost every household in the United States has dealt with: weeds growing in the cracks of sidewalks, patios, or driveways. Even if you pull them out today, they often come back just a few weeks later. Professional gardeners often use borax in these areas because there are no plants that need to be protected. The method is quite simple. Just dissolve about 1¼ cups of borax in 1 gallon of hot water, stir until it dissolves, then pour the solution directly into the cracks on a dry, sunny day. The weeds absorb the borax through their roots, and they gradually die within about a week. This method is often effective against common weeds that grow in concrete cracks, such as crabgrass, Bermuda grass, goosegrass, and small broadleaf weeds that grow in narrow openings. However, for weeds with deep, aggressive root systems, such as Kogan grass or mature Bermuda grass, borax may only weaken the above-ground growth instead of killing the entire plant. In that case, you should remove the roots first before pouring the solution to achieve better results. One important thing to remember is that this method should only be used in places where you do not want any plants to grow at all, such as concrete cracks or stone walkways. If the solution runs onto a lawn or a nearby flower bed, ornamental plants may also be affected. 4. Helping control powdery mildew on plants. If I have ever grown zucchini, pumpkins, cucumbers, or zinnias, I have dealt with powdery mildew. My family went through the same thing. The first time we grew zucchini in our backyard, the plants were healthy and thriving. Then one morning we walked outside and saw the leaves covered with a thin white layer that looked like dust. At first, I thought it was just dirt sticking to the leaves, but only a few days later, the leaves started to dry out and the plants became much weaker. That was when I realized it was powdery mildew. From then on, my family and I got into the habit of walking through the garden every morning to check the plants, especially after humid days or rain. The morning is the easiest time for me to spot the signs of the disease because the light is softer and the leaves have not yet dried out in the sun. Comment number 1, if you have experienced the same thing. After trying several methods, an 80-year-old neighbor showed me a simple solution. Just mix 1 teaspoon of borax, 1 teaspoon of vegetable oil, and about 1 gallon of water. Then shake well before spraying. Spray both the upper and lower surfaces of the leaves. because the fungus often grows on both sides. I found that the vegetable oil helps the solution stay on the leaves longer instead of washing off quickly, while the borax makes the leaf surface less favorable for the fungus to grow. Early morning or late afternoon is the best time to spray, and you should avoid spraying during the hottest part of the day because it can scorch the leaves. About 4 or 5 days later, I spray the plants one more time, but there was also a time when the infection had become too severe and almost all the leaves had turned white. At that point, I had to remove the infected leaves first before treating the plants. Doing that gave the plants a better chance to recover and help prevent the disease from spreading to other plants in the garden. Five, adding boron to nutrient-deficient soil. Not everyone knows that borax is not only used to control insects. In some situations, it also serves as a source of boron, a micronutrient that plants need in very small amounts, but that is extremely important for their growth. In certain areas of the United States, such as the Southeast, parts of the Midwest with long cultivated farmland, including Iowa and Illinois, and the Pacific Northwest where rainfall is high, boron in the soil is often leached away and gradually depleted over time. When this nutrient is lacking, plants usually show clear signs. Tomatoes produce plenty of flowers but have poor fruit set. Broccoli develops darkened centers, beets become spongy, apples develop sunken spots on the surface. If a soil test confirms a boron deficiency, agricultural experts often recommend mixing 1 tablespoon of borax with about 1 gallon of water, then watering or spraying it evenly over an area of about 1,000 square feet. This only needs to be done once a year. Boron is an element that plants need only in very small amounts. If there is too little, plants will not grow well, but if there is too much, the leaf edges can become scorched, turn yellow, and directly affect crop yields. If you have never had your soil tested, it is best to have it tested before using borax as a micronutrient fertilizer to avoid unnecessary risks. Six, controlling cockroaches indoors. Cockroaches are insects that almost no one wants to see inside their home. In hot and humid states such as Florida, Louisiana, and Texas, they are especially common and can reproduce very quickly if they find food and water. One method that many American households have used is to mix borax with powdered sugar or flour in a 1-to-1 ratio. The sugar attracts the cockroaches, while the borax takes effect after they eat it or ingest the powder that sticks to their bodies while grooming themselves. Sprinkle a very thin layer behind the refrigerator, under the stove, behind kitchen cabinets, or in other places where cockroaches usually hide. Avoid sprinkling it in food preparation areas or anywhere children and pets may come into contact with it. Tests conducted by several extension agencies in the United States have also shown that borax bait can significantly reduce German cockroach populations when it is placed in the right locations and maintained for a sufficient period of time. Seven, cleaning mold from walls and damp surfaces. Have you ever opened your basement door? Or stepped onto your porch and suddenly noticed patches of mold spreading across the surface? In many northeastern states and throughout the Pacific Northwest, basements and porches often have high humidity year-round. This creates ideal conditions for mold to grow on brick walls, concrete floors, or the underside of wooden porches. One solution that many households use is to dissolve 1 cup of borax in about 1 quart of hot water. Then scrub the moldy area directly with a stiff brush. What makes this method different is that after scrubbing, many people do not rinse the surface with clean water. The borax left behind continues to create a drier environment on the surface, helping reduce the chances of mold returning for a period of time. However, if the mold covers a large area or is caused by a long-term water leak, you should first fix the source of the moisture. Otherwise, the mold will soon return no matter which product you use. 10. Don't use borax if you don't know what your soil is lacking. There's one thing I always tell people who are new to gardening. Don't assume that adding more fertilizer will always make plants grow better. That is not always true, especially when it comes to borax. Borax contains boron, a micronutrient that plants need only in very small amounts. If your soil is truly deficient in boron, adding the correct amount can help plants bloom more evenly, improve fruit set, and grow more vigorously. But if your soil already has enough boron, adding more can have the opposite effect, causing leaf edges to burn, slowing growth, and damaging the root system. That is why I always start by observing the plants. If my tomatoes keep dropping their flowers, my broccoli develops an unusually discolored center, or my fruit trees produce plenty of blossoms but have a very low fruit set, I do not rush to buy fertilizer or use borax right away. The first thing I do is test the soil or take a soil sample to my local extension office for analysis. In the United States, many counties offer soil testing services at a fairly low cost. The results will tell you exactly which nutrients your soil is lacking or has in excess. Once you have that information, you will know whether borax is truly necessary. In my opinion, this is also the difference between someone who gardens based on guesswork and someone with years of gardening experience. They do not add anything just because they heard someone say it works. They always identify the cause first, then choose the right solution. Borax can be a very useful tool, but only when it is used at the right time and in the right amount. Understanding your soil is always more important than buying another new product. If you enjoy simple, budget-friendly gardening tips based on the real-world experience of many gardeners across the United States, don't forget to subscribe so you can follow my upcoming videos. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I wish you a lush, thriving garden, and I will see you again in the next video.